everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to do a look that is inspired by one of the makeups I did recently for the BAFTA Awards in the UK with a beautiful, wonderful, super talented actress that I've worked with for over a year now, Katherine Kelly. She's adorable and incredible. Oh, no, just get the camera, sorry. And I'm really loving this theme of kind of talking through how I as a makeup artist choose what kind of looks to do depending on what the stylist is dressing the model, the actress or whoever it is in whatever kind of genre that we're shooting in, and how that dictates the hair and the makeup to kind of complete the icing on the cake for which it is. It's very, very much team effort. I don't actually have the beautiful picture. I'm going to insert a picture now of the lovely Katherine, and as you can see she had a really bright orangey coral dress on, and she's blonde, and I didn't want the makeup to overpower it, just complement it. And this is the whole thing that I've been talking about, is that when you're going or doing your makeup for a special occasion, whether it's a birthday, wedding or whatever, it's not always the time where you just pile everything on. I think that kind of gives it the modern twist if you just sort of look at what you've got and then sort of do something to balance it with. And I had some lovely messages from a lady who did exactly that. She wore I can't remember where she was going now, but she said, I toned my makeup down, still beautiful, still there, but just toned it down a little bit, and I felt fabulous and it looked gorgeous in the pictures. And she got it, she just saw the difference. And that's not always the case. You know, I'm not saying that we should always wear like less makeup, absolutely not. But if you've got like a big sparkly dress or a big floral print dress or a statement colour, just tone it down maybe slightly and just complement it gently. Anyway, we're going to get straight into it. So I thought I'd give a few little red carpet tips. I love to start with a Sarah Chapman mask. Now these are really, really beautifully hydrating and instantly hydrating. So I get that lovely kind of quench on the skin straight away. Sarah Chapman's products are amazing, and this is just perfect pre-makeup. And whilst my client is just relaxing, having that moment, I'll be sorting out my kit, laying everything out, seeing what we're wearing, kind of getting everything sorted. Once that is hydrated and there's a little bit of skin prep going on, I will apply my Karen Berthoff Advanced Skin Serum. Now this is quite expensive, and I wouldn't necessarily say that you should buy it. It just works for me really, really well under makeup, especially if you're kind of 35 plus, because it really does quench the skin. Even though I've said I've put the mask on, that's all about quenching the skin. For me, this product, although it's amazing normally, I think it's £175, very kindly, I've become good friends with Karen since she opened her salon, and she allows me to have these products with my kit. She gives them to me, which is super, super kind. I am not saying that you should have this. There are lots of other alternatives, and maybe I will do a film on other quenching products that last really well under makeup. But just please remember, in terms of like buying things, I am and have been working as a makeup artist for over 30 years. I'm quite well known in the UK, so I'm fortunate enough that I have great contacts and people are very happy for me to be using their products. So I find it sort of, I'm very, very lucky. I feel a bit spoilt, but I also feel like I've worked really damn hard to get where I've got. So I feel like, okay, that's fine. There's a really, really special parcel about to arrive. I'm going to have to cut the video because I know that this van is the picture of my Slim Aaron's birthday for my 50th. Sorry, I'll come back in a sec. Oh, shucks, it wasn't. I had a Slim Aaron's style photograph. Well, we did it at my 50th, which is over a year ago now. And I had all my friends around the pool in a kind of Slim Aaron style. Anyway, it's taken us so long to get ourselves together and organised. I don't know why. Anyway, it wasn't that. Irrelevant. Right, okay, so skin prep is key when you are doing someone's makeup, or you are applying your makeup before you, or for longevity, so that you can last all day but still look seamless. The Tatcha Silk Canvas is another favourite of mine. It is a solid formula that I scoop out, and it is really beautiful at just sitting across the T-zone of someone's complexion, if they need it, of course, just to kind of almost fill that irregular texture just over the front. And it looks really, really smooth, and it goes on quite nice and creamy, so I could actually place that over my lip area as well. I probably don't need too much on my forehead, but I would basically see the person's, obviously analyse the person's skin that I'm working on to try and get that perfect base, and just allow that to sort of settle in, and maybe pop up on some lip balm or, you know, whatever is needed on the skin, and I see how that reacts. I'll then probably go in, I'm actually really loving the Beauty Pie Wonder Filter Skin Primer before I start. This is so light. I'm really fussy. The e.l.f. one is also lovely. I'm really fussy about the spritz. It has to be a light, delicate spritz, because if it soaks your face, it just dissolves the makeup. This is also really lovely because it's got hydration properties in it, as well as ingredients that are going to hold your makeup for just that little bit longer, but it doesn't feel tight, doesn't feel like a hairspray face or anything like that. So for this particular look, I chose a very popular foundation, the Ambient Soft Glow by Hourglass. Popular for me. I really love this foundation. I need to be careful that my artist, it was a very hot day as well, isn't going to get too hot and sweaty in the skin. So I use a sort of semi-matte base. Now you'll see I'm going to apply it just with my fingers. I would apply it with a brush to a client, but I just feel that for me, I get this kind of coverage quick and effective on my skin without wasting anything. I'll then buff it in a moment, but just as I do so often, apply it with my fingers. This is colour 6. Now, because it gives that lovely perfected coverage, I also need to apply it to my neck, so the quality of my skin is the same. I mean, obviously I'm overthinking it, but I'm doing it on a professional eye. That my skin on my face balances out with the skin on my neck and my chest, so I would extend that down. So just before that's set, a little bit on my forehead. The skin on my forehead isn't particularly irregular. I've got the most sort of pigmentation and redness around my T-zone and around the sides of my face, probably like the majority of us, right? So that's what needs attention in order for me to carry off this lovely look. But I'm keeping the orbital area of my eyes light, because I don't want that to look heavy and make my skin look as though it's got makeup on, if you know what I mean. So now I'm going in with this lovely Clé de Peau buffing brush. It is really lovely. It is so dense. And it feels very satisfying, but I need to have this kind of brush for this look, because I couldn't leave that texture on my skin. No way, it would look way too obvious. So you'd need to buff it in so it sits in. So I'm sort of really mattifying, and then I've pushed the extra bit of foundation right into my orbital area. So I've almost got a diluted version of that, right? So you've got this beautiful skin coming through here, and then it just softly goes around the eye. But I will use a lighter, more harmonious product with that area. So that gives me a great skin straight away. That's what I want, just that flawless canvas. It probably takes me longer to do the skin than any other part of the makeup. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury No. 1 Fair. So again, in comparison, just to show you to be confident with your colour selection, look at the difference in colour. But don't be afraid of that. Really don't be afraid. Take your ring finger, push it into the darkest areas of your face, right into the inner corner. Right into the inner corner here, okay? And then use that to spread out. We can go back with the same brush. So because my skin's got that primer on, because the base is a medium to heavy coverage, I'm having to work a little bit more technical than I would do with my soft, lovely hydrating products that I show you a lot of, because this channel is not really on how to, well, it's not about how to be a professional makeup artist at all. It's about how to apply makeup in varying ways for pure joy. Yes. That is what it is, for pure joy only. Some people can't be bothered with makeup at all. I love it. I love to be able to change, and I don't think that I wear like quite kind of, you know, out there makeup, but my tones and my textures definitely do change, and I like that. Now, sorry, and I didn't show you, I just got this nice little Otis buffing brush, and I just tipped it into the concealer, so I'm getting a lighter effect. It's nice and fluffy, and I'm just bringing that kind of lovely sort of superhero wing just out, because that just gives you such a lift. I love it. That just kind of gives me my daily power. It's like a sort of affirmation of like, here we go. Let's take on this day. Let's be amazing. Let's try and be sane. I mean, just being amazing is being sane these days, isn't it? So there we are. What a really nice, even palette. And I'm going to build on this now. Now I'm going to take my brows a little bit deeper now, brushing them up and just filling them out very softly, because obviously I had the morning brow with Miriam, but for this look I want a little bit more strength, because it's going to be quite a soft makeup, and with that I need to have the structure to kind of give me the balance of my face. Just wiping that through, just very, very softly. This is the Ultimate Arch Definer in Chai. It's a nice colour, just really, really soft. I don't want to do any inking, I don't need to because I've got that. I just want a little bit of depth, which is great. Okay, so let's go in with the eye. Now, I wanted to create something that was, again, really soft, and I love using this e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadow. You can see the colours right up my street, and it really, really suited Katherine's skin. So I'm applying it with a number 28 Refa brush, which is a nice flat, compact brush, and lifting up the lid and placing the colour quite intensely along that lash line. I think I've used this with you guys before, actually. And then you have about 30 seconds before it dries. So then you need to take a nice, this is a Beauty Pie, what do they call this one? Pro eyeshadow brush, and then just buff it. Now this is not going to be the perfected finish, but what this is going to do is create an amazing base that is going to keep the eyeshadow true colour on for at least sort of the whole evening. Well, definitely the whole evening. We got ready at like 3 o'clock, or 1 o'clock actually earlier. So it's a really, really nice base to put your makeup on with. Now, in terms of the mascara, no, we'll go straight into the eyeshadow. I left it a little bit like this at first, and then I wanted a little bit more of a shimmer. So I used this gorgeous shimmery one from NARS here, just over the top. That's the top one. Blended it into my hand first. I wanted to see how the colour gripped, because the worst thing you want to do is if you've used a creamy base and then you put a powder on, what can happen is it grabs it and then you're stuck with this mess. And no matter how you try and perfect it, it never, ever, ever looks even. So you have to get it on at the right time, so don't overdo it. So I was really happy with that, because I thought, okay, good, I know that I can trust that this is going to stay on the eyes for a long time. They're really, really nice shades, these e.l.f. ones. So again, it's a great tip to use if you've got greasy eyelids, your eyelash, your mascara never stays. Really, really good tip. To start with a bit of a colour eyeshadow if you haven't got an actual primer. So I think I'll go straight in with the Swede Pro Lash Lift Mascara. Now, you know that I really like to create a lot of mascara at the root, okay? Because this gives us an invisible eyeline. So this mascara, like the Tilbury Lash Power Lift, is it Power Lift Lash? Push-up lashes, gives us this great lift, but the soft tip, right? You don't want to have the same bulk of mascara on the tips of your lashes because you'll weigh them down. So I'm going to get that first coat on like that, and I'm just going to let it dry. Someone did say to me that they were getting really fed up with applying their mascara because it just always went clumpy and they could never get a soft lash, and they were just trying to get a lift and it would just take ages. I would actually say to you, how old is your mascara? You've got to give mascaras 3 months, I think, and then you've got to put them in the bin, just because the amount of times that you're opening them, they do dry out, and that's when you lose the magic. If it's starting to clog like that, it's lost its you know, it's out of its sell-by date. I mean, obviously it's not, but just in terms of the formula, really, you should be able to have at least a couple of minutes before the mascara dries. There are some mascaras that you can keep on playing with. God, no, what was that one that I was using? I thought, oh, I can just keep adding to this. And it allowed me to add more and more mascara, but without it getting really clumpy. So for Katherine's lash, because it was the day and the dress is really bright and summery, I didn't really want to do much else. And sometimes, like I said in the beginning, it's about pulling back and not doing too much and letting your features stand out, because all of you are gorgeous enough as it is. It's just about adding makeup to emphasize, sort of bejeweling your face, not changing your face, right? So again, it's really soft, but it's still something. If you kind of remember how I looked before, it's just given that nice soft bit of interest to the eye. So that's good. We're going to go in with a little bit of the Victoria Beckham off-white pencil. She calls hers the Victoria Beckham Instant Brightening Waterline Pencil. Okay, so just literally always just soften the edge and then just drag it through. Be careful not to get it on your lashes, because it will just look like they're going grey or have some sort of root, or look like they've been dyed and you've got a bit of regrowth. So make sure you do keep it on your waterline. But on photographs, this very simple effect has quite a large impact, has good impact, should I say. So yeah, it might not look much, but it definitely works. Now, okay, so I went in with I've worked with Kylie Minogue for years. We're back in the beginning of, just after millennium, for like 8 years. So I've really struggled using this Kylie Jenner. It kind of makes me get bleh. Oh, see, if I'm ever mean, I get a cough. Gets me right. Someone always tapping on my shoulder. Gee whiz. Anyway, just for the fun, this is the Kylie Jenner pressed blush powder in Kitten Baby. It is a really gorgeous, quite unique colour and really great for sort of a paler skin, but you get quite a good colour payoff. I'm going to use this just very soft small brush. I love small brushes for makeup. And very excitingly, I might be having my own little brush collection coming soon, which is very little because I want everything to be little and precise and handy, but probably September now. Anyway, I applied this I'm looking at Katherine's face and I'm just trying to pull out this part of her face. I'm imagining those big sunglasses and I'm just adding that delicate finish here. Now, I haven't put any powder on my skin. This foundation dries as a beautiful powder. I will go in and powder in a minute, and I'm actually going to add a bit of a cream bronze over the top, as it just kind of brings the makeup sort of back to life a little bit, because this makeup is something that I'm doing for longevity and something that I'm doing for a massive wall of paparazzi. And I say it in that kind of dramatic ways, because when you have about sort of 200 plus photographers, that creates a lot of light. and it's so easy to look over glossy. So you've really got to bear that in mind when you are looking after someone. And then I just take this nice firm brush and just go to the edges and just soften that, so that's just really nice. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my Beauty Pie Goldilocks bronzer. I'm so glad they sent me a new one because I've literally finished it all last year. And the same brush, just going in to break up that flatness of my skin, all these subtleties, just along my jaw. And just bring that up there to give a little bit, ooh, that looks nice, doesn't it, right? Just blending it in. And because it's this nice firm brush and the product isn't a liquid, like for instance, I couldn't use the e.l.f. bronzing drops purely because it is a liquid, but I can get away with a solid cream with a firm brush mixing into that blush, and I just quite like the effect of when those textures mix together. That's just my love. It's just, I guess we all find different ways of painting, don't we? Okay, so I'm going to go in with a slightly lighter powder brush, just under here. I can take that makeup off my mole, but just to really accentuate that bone structure so it's really, really polished. I'm happy with my right eyelash, but you know what? Did I do it? Did I do a second coat? I don't know if I did, but this one needs a bit more of a lift. And if truth be told, I would have used my eyelash curlers, but I looked, I looked and I looked, I thought, oh no, they're upstairs. So for anyone thinking, oh, she shouldn't do her eyelashes, she would have done if she was organised enough. See, that's just a bit better. Okay, so many people asked about the lip, and it was a very simple lip. It was a combination of the 1W Lisa Eldridge Kitten topped up with Go Lightly to really balance with the peach. But I didn't want it because it's quite a soft, even though I've got the sparkle or the shimmer metallic across my eye, everything else is kind of quite soft and creamy. So I wanted it to be a little bit glossy. So I'm going to use the side of the pencil all the way over the entire lip. Again, the texture is so creamy. Lovely, okay. And I did a little bit of powder, polished it up a little bit, and then used the Go Lightly on top. This is mine, so I can take it from... Oh, look at that. This combination is delicious. Really, really lovely. And that was the look. Apart from one last thing, I went in with a very small amount of Sculpted by Amy Golden Light, Golden Glow highlighter. Literally that much, okay? Teeny, teeny weeny with a soft, fluffy brush. Soft, fluffy brush, teeny weeny little bit, just here on the outside of my eye, just underneath the brow, very, very delicately. So there was a little bit of movement and a little bit of sheen, but nothing that was just like too much, because I wanted it to be super, super elegant. And the little brush just allows you to place it exactly where you want. See? Just get that lovely shot. I've still got a little bit left actually. So let's just go over those areas again very softly, just to add that little spotlight of colour. And there we are. There she is. And I'm not sure whether any of you would do your makeup like that if you were going out for a special occasion with maybe this colour palette. Maybe you would kind of opt for your kind of like, you know, metallic greys and chocolate browns, but this with a beautiful bright colour. In fact, green, blues, purples, lilacs, it goes with everything, to be honest. And it's just that hint of kind of like summer skin, that kind of like peachy apricot glow. Anyway, I hope you've learnt a few things. Obviously, always lovely to chat to you and to read your comments. You do make me giggle. You really do. And thank you always for so much of your support. Lots of love. Bye.